Info Herring Port Harcourt, I'm Dial. It's 11 minutes gone past 3 p.m. and yes, it is raining and pouring, definitely so. Cats and dogs, if you will, at the moment, at least where we are here at the AIM Complex, kilometer 16 East West Road, Rimouski, Port Harcourt, possibly raining where you are as well, in Port Harcourt, possibly even outside of Port Harcourt, or maybe even outside of Rivers State as well. But in spite of the rain, it's a fine day nonetheless. And I hope you had an equally fine weekend, or an even better weekend actually, and things are looking up, especially the start to the new working week. I hope it's been a brilliant one today, especially as you listen to Nigeria Info to get the latest updates and reports as far as what's happening all around you is concerned. Welcome once again. From now till about 7 o'clock, we keep the conversation going on hard facts with a few matters we're going to be addressing today, definitely so. We've got let's see what we've got. News coming up every hour. 4 p.m. Business news, 5 p.m. news update, 6 p.m. major news, and I think that will be the final bulletin for today. We've got headlines 5:30 as well. At about 7, the show comes to an end. The sports gang will be in by 7 o'clock to bring you all the action from the world of sports. I think we've got. I think the Euros will be resuming. Is it tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow. I just need to confirm that quite quickly. But I know we're going into the semi-finals. I think the semi-finals are up next, starting from tomorrow. Absolutely. 8 p.m. Italy taking on Spain, and the day after, on Wednesday, we've got the second semi-final game. I believe that's England taking on Denmark. So, of course, in case you're wondering, what's going to be happening with those games, the previews of the matches, who's going to play, who might be fielded, who's out, who's in. Besides the Euros as well, remember, we've also got a lot of activities going on in the transfer market as far as the major leagues, football leagues are concerned. Who's buying who's going where, who's transferring to where, who's asking who for what, all of that to the sports gang, and also happening to the other major sporting activities the world over. Yeah, so however, between now and then, a few matters we are going to be addressing at this time. You're welcome once again. So let's see. Let's start with I've got side comments coming up, random stories and random thoughts, which of course will not be discussed now until later on. Then I've got a rant as well, so I'm going to express some thoughts in it, and I'll take your thoughts and mine till 4 p.m. Vanguard newspaper. Sunday Igboho sues DSS, claims 500 million naira damages over attack on house. Yep, he's suing the DSS and is claiming 500 million naira over attack on his house. Let's hear a bit of that story, rather, not here. Well, story comes to the riders. Accused FG of trying to kill him. Igboho should surrender. Olowokuta said that. Well, here's the story. Legal counsel to Yoruba activist Chief Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, Chief Yomi Aliyu SAN, sued the Department of State Service for attacking and damaging his house, alleging that the DSS operatives went with the intent not to arrest but kill him. Now, this come on the day. Let's see. Well, we'll talk about that later on. We're discussing that matter. There's more to it, really. And, well, might Sunday Igboho have valid grounds to make such a claim? Can the DSS go to his house or any other person's house for that matter, or security operators simply effect an arrest, or do they have to invite the person, as it were? As, of course, his lawyers are also claiming. Alright, so I'll be discussing that in the 4 o'clock hour. My guest, Barrister Richard Wokocha, will join me for that conversation. Takes us till 5, and after the news update, we'll dive into some of the matter. Said matter, by the way, electoral bill and the Nigerian democracy. Especially as the year 2023 is now very much at hand. Kind of like the same way there was a lot of expectations for the year 2019. But in the usual manner, Nigerians wore t-shirts and face caps and voted for structure and on grandness. And just see where we are today. Anyways, here's the one from the Premium Times. National Assembly takes a stab at electoral bill, reversing hopes for electoral integrity. Key amendments designed to ground the conduct of future Nigerian elections in transparency and accountability seem doomed for the garbage bin as early as next Thursday, when the National Assembly seeks to review and pass the electoral bill that caucus leaders of Senate are currently fine-tuning in Abuja. The caucus leaders, now packed at the executive floor of the Transcorp Hotel in Abuja, started their deliberations last Thursday to codify what will be the final laws that will regulate on electoral independence of INEC and new timelines for submission of the National Assembly yet, let alone sent it to by Mr. President. But we'll consider some of the more critical parts of the electoral bill that sources, according to Premium Times, indicate are being altered by these caucus leaders in Abuja, possibly even as we speak. And I'll be asking the question, amongst others, to what extent this will help to improve the electoral process, especially as we approach the now magic year 2023. Hopefully it does hold some magic for Nigerians. Well, that comes up in the 5 o'clock hour. Headlines 5:30 p.m. Major news at 6, and open season comes up after that, during which, if you miss out on contributing to any matter discussed on the show, I'll take your thoughts on those issues, including the side comments, which will not be discussed now. Between then and 7 o'clock. At about 7, the show officially comes to a close, and extra time with the sports gang comes up. But for the moment, we keep the ball rolling out with today's side comments, random stories, random thoughts of mine. A reminder, they're not up for discussion at this time. And interesting one here from Rivers State. Well, we always have interesting stories, huh? A former commissioner for information and communication in Rivers State, Ibemi Semenitari, says it's her father, a former deputy governor of Rivers State, Gabriel Toby, who appealed to Dr. Peter Odili to build the road to his hometown of Okpobo. Now, she said this in a Facebook post following the commissioning of the Okpobo axis of the Ogoni Andoni Okpobo Unity Road on Saturday by Governor Wike, who had only commended Dr. Odili for initiating the project when he was governor. But Mrs. Semenitari, who was information commissioner under the Amechi administration, said while the project was started under the Odili administration, the Amechi administration did the bulk of the work with the Kuku Peter side as commissioner for works. These are truly fascinating times. And by the way, this response, courtesy the former commissioner for information and rivers, Ibemi Semenitari, I believe came on the heels of the governor's comment, and I'd like to go to that now. This was on our news earlier on. The governor also commended the former Rivers State Governor Peter Odili for conceptualizing the Ogoni Andoni Okpobo Unity Road project. Let's hear what His Excellency the Governor had to say about who should be commended for this initiative and possibly even the eventual realization of this fascinating development, apparently. Here's what the governor said.
But what is important of all the requests we made, and knowing the value of land here, I will make sure I will reclaim more lands for you.
Okay, I think, pardon me, sincerest apologies, that's the wrong one. I think I got, this should be the right one.
Let me thank God that this has been made possible. But God used somebody, and that is Dr. Peter Odili, who conceptualized the idea of Ogoni, Okpobo, Andoni, Unity Road. It is important. If he did not conceptualize that idea, probably we may not have had the opportunity to even think, because you thinking about doing road here to this place, it is not easy. And today, we have completed what he has conceptualized. It is very, very important. When people talk about previous administration, it is not correct. They never conceptualized about the road. It was started by Dr. Peter Odili. And that is the truth of the matter.
Okay. So that's it. So let's. I think we should all thank Dr. Peter Odili for conceptualizing this road. The former governor, His Excellency, for conceptualizing the road. Let's thank him. Let's also thank the past administration of Chibuike Amechi as well, for also, at least according to the former Commissioner for Information, Ibemi Semenitari, let's thank the former administration of Chibuike Amechi for doing what she called or described as the bulk of the work. Let's also thank you very much for this opportunity to thank people. See, I always love it when we I'm given an opportunity like this to thank people. I would also like to thank Dr. Dakuku Peterside, who was the Commissioner for Works during the last administration, for the great work that he did in helping to advance the progress of this work. Let me also take the time to also thank the current governor, His Excellency Professor Dr. Mr. Project, for the great work he has done, because never a time have we seen something like this done before. I would also like to take the time to also thank the current Commissioner for Works in the State and the entire staff of the Ministry of Works for the painstaking effort that they have undertaken to see to the realization of this road. How can I forget to thank the contractor who did not abscond from site, who did not run away with mobilization funds, who ensured that the project eventually saw the light of day. And whilst I am still thanking people, let's not forget to thank the people that originally carried sand to the site. You see, it's not easy. It's not easy to do. You know, the amount of sand that is needed to carry out a project like this. It's not easy at all. Oh, did I forget to thank the former commissioner's father, who a former deputy governor of Rivers State, Gabriel Toby, whom, according to the former commissioner, appealed to Dr. Peter Odili to build a road to his hometown. Because if the former commissioner's father had not made the appeal, would the governor have conceptualized it? Let me also take this opportunity, because I don't know when I will have this opportunity again. Let me take this opportunity as well to also thank all the bricklayers, all the artists, people that mixed cement, people that mixed the tar, the coal tar that was used in this project, because there's a lot of manual labor that goes. We must not forget to appreciate the role that these people played. Please, if you know any other person that should be thanked, you can send that in via WhatsApp right now on 0809 030 6416, 0809 030 6416 via WhatsApp. Okay, I've got someone says also thank the Ashwebi people. Oh yeah, how can we forget the Ashwebi women who danced on the day of the commissioning? They must have danced their hearts out. Also, someone says those who converged for the. Oh, how can we forget to thank the people who converged for the commissioning of this auspicious road? It's not easy to leave everything that you are doing to then assemble for a commissioning. We have to thank them. Also, thank the youth and the women leaders. The youth and the women leaders, right from the time of Dr. Peter Odili, women and youth leaders and have been taking part in this project. We have to appreciate their efforts as well. And while I'm standing on existing protocol, let me also thank the touts or the louts for not disturbing the project. At least the ones that didn't disturb, because we had ones that disturbed before. So let's thank them. Someone says, let's thank the Ogbuaja men for their diligence. How can we forget the Ogbuaja men for the great work that they did? Someone says, Daya, please help me to thank the community boys for allowing the contract. Oh, goodness. That is something that is very key as well. Because contractors going to site, mobilizing and completing is not a very easy thing at all. If we don't have the cooperation and assistance of community boys, we have to thank them. Someone says, and his royal family, how can we not thank our king, the Amayanabu of Okobo town as well, of Okobo kingdom? We have to thank the royal family and the council for giving the much needed royal advice and royal fatherly love and royal blessings to ensure that this happened. Someone also here says, we need to appreciate the press for covering. Oh, someone says the press, the reward is in heaven. But somebody here is appreciating the role that the press has played as well in ensuring that we bring the reports of this wonderful road construction to the people, because the press. Matthew Collins Adela says, Dayo, how can we forget the Mama Put women who sold food to the the Mama Put women and the Bole and Fish women also, who were on ground as early as 6 a.m. in the morning to sell hot rice, hot steaming rice to to the workers and ensure that there was bole and fish in the afternoon for when they will go on lunch break, and to ensure that there is gari and afang soup to keep their energy going while they were doing this wonderful work. I'm seeing so many messages here of people that we should be thanking. Someone says, let's also thank the paramount rulers and the kidnappers for allowing the contractor to work. That's some money. You see, thank you very. We didn't hear any reports that contractors were kidnapped while this project was going on. Another one, yeah. Let's thank the PDP family as well. Oh, if not for the PDP family, what would have happened to the people of that place? Let's also thank the people who wore gyms. Yeah, how can we forget the people who wore their gyms? Were it not for the gyms, how would this wonderful situation have come to pass? Someone says, let's thank the people that paid for radio jingles, thanking the governor. Oh, they have their role to play as well. I might even get my salary from those jingle money also. We have to thank those people as well who have paid for jingles to thank. You know, you see, I don't have it. If only I had enough time. If only I had. Okay, Samson Berry says we should not also forget. We should also not forget to thank the community liaison officer of the water spirits who appealed to his kinsmen and women to move their spiritual houses 5 meters away in order for the road to pass. How can we forget to thank all of these people? How can we forget to thank? The list is endless, and if I were to continue thanking everybody that should be thanked, this program will not end. So I'd like to stand on existing protocol once again to thank everybody, those that dreamed about it, those who had nightmares about it, those who conceptualized it, those who carried the first blocks, those who did the groundbreaking ceremony. I don't know how many groundbreakings were done, but those who took part in one way or another, up to our women who danced on commissioning day. We thank everybody for the great work that they have done to see that this vision of our founding fathers has finally seen the light of day. And how can I forget to also thank those who have sent messages thanking people as well via WhatsApp for this wonderful thing that God has done in our lives. And how can we forget to thank the Almighty God also for helping us to see this road? Because with God, all things are possible. And without God, none of these things that we are thanking people for today would have happened. All right, let's see. What else is there? Caught my attention. Oh, the thanking segment has taken the entire time. What am I going to do right now? Well, it's a sad situation, really. Reports in the country of kidnapping school children, and we're going to talk about that at some point, I believe, on the show today. So maybe I'll just leave that alone. You may have heard, I think, in Kaduna State, another set of students have been kidnapped from a school as well. But like I said, that comes up at some point in the conversation on the show today, so we'll get to that one later on. But if you're the praying type, you might want to say a prayer for the children who have just been kidnapped and those who are still in the kidnappers' den, that by some miracle, I suppose, they are set free and reunited with their loved ones as soon as possible. I do have to wrap up the side comments right now. It's been taken up by the Thanksgiving moment that we had just a while ago. Appreciating everybody who was a part of that project. So I think that's it for the moment. That's it for today's side comments. I'm going to break. When I return, today's round comes up. Please stay with us.
We give the facts.
News entirely.
We give the evidence. Just to keep you informed.
News, weather.
I get my information top of the hour every hour.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
Keeping up with political issues and developments around you, only on Nigeria Info. A
clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
with good hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
We give the facts.
News entirely.
We give the evidence. Just to keep you informed.
News, weather. I get my information top of the hour every hour.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
Information is a two-way thing. Nigeria Info, it's your turn. Let's talk.
And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Dio.
Welcome back. Still have Factor 92.3 Nigeria Info and here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio, and I'd like to rant for just a bit. I've got thoughts on a certain matter. I'd like to express those thoughts at this time, if you don't mind. And I would very much welcome you expressing your thoughts of mine till about 4 p.m. when we do wrap up this segment. Now, the matter that's caught my attention today is not particularly something new or something novel. As a matter of fact, it is something that we've become all too much accustomed to, but which, quite shocking, I believe, for a lot of persons, is downright absolutely illegal and should not be done. And arguably the most confounding thing about this development is that the one agency of government that should, whose sole or primary responsibility is upholding the law, is the one who is flagrantly violating it and abusing the systems of and processes of justice delivery. Now, this was on the news earlier today. The Rivers State Police Command has paraded 36 suspected criminals, and the Commissioner of Police in the state, Booker Friday, aka the versatile one, told newsmen at the force headquarters that among those arrested were suspected criminals who disturbed the Ogoni axis of the state. Here's what the versatile CP had to say about this development.
Operative of Anti-Kidnapping Unit, with the aid of technical intelligence, arrested one Monday Dante, 27 years old, whose GSM number was used on several occasions to demand ransom for the release of kidnapped victims. He was arrested in Kane local government area of the state. The gang was responsible for most kidnap incidents around Woji and Elelewon axis of Port Harcourt. In the course of his investigation, he led the police to their hideouts for the recovery of more arms. On their arrival, his gang members opened fire on the police, and in the process, exchange of fire, one of them, by name Lebare, was fatally wounded.
Now, CP Friday also explained how some of the ammunition displayed was recovered from the suspects.
On the 20th of the same June 2021, at about 0700 hours, operative of anti-robbery, anti-cultism unit were on the team patrol along Sakpenwa Bori Road when they intercepted a commercial bus carrying passengers. On searching the vehicle, the police recovered 127.7.62 live ammunition concealed in water bottle, and also it was preserved with a liquid believed to be AGO, which is this as we call this. One Jonah Awaji, the owner of the bag containing the exhibits, was arrested immediately. On interrogation, he confessed to being a member of Iceland Circuit Court.
Now, the Rivers Police boss also told newsmen that among them is a gang of kidnappers who gruesomely murdered their victim.
FIB Intelligence Response Team, while cracking the syndicate that gruesomely murdered one Wilson Ketachi at a hotel in Rumwekeni, arrested one Richard Okuma, 19 years old, a native of Omo. These two boys were actually friends, and there was minor argument between the two of them, and one took bottle and killed his friend. We were able to arrest him and share with us. And arrested one Franklin Nwanyang at Eberi Omuma. The suspect and his gang had earlier kidnapped one Alhaji Abubakar Tijani and also snatched his Honda Salute car. In the course of investigation, the suspect led the police to another forest in the same Eberi Omuma.
Now, our correspondent reports that some of the suspects paraded denied involvement in the crime they were arrested for, and others admitted to it.
I don't have idea of any kidnapping. My name have not been found in any police station. I'm not a kidnapper, neither a criminal. I only assist the police.
We'll just sit down like a passenger. Then if the person enter, we'll just use mat and tell him to shift. They will try to lock the door. Not rob them. We'll just confuse them.
Just a driver. So one guy called me on phone in Aba. I should go and pick a vehicle for him, without knowing that the car which I brought for him was a kidnapped vehicle.
I'm involved in a kidnapping case. No, the person is alive. 2.5 million ransom was collected.
I know, just understand. I see poverty or now due to financial.
It was because I was the one that carried the girl inside the car. And number two, the girl was, because the girl did not see small again, she now alleged that when I drove her with the car, then I raped her. After I finished raping her, she now gave me the money to go and give to small. Is that why I talk?
Now, I know it's very easy right now, especially with the comment of admission from some of these suspects that were paraded. It's easy to go, yes, kudos to the police for a job well done. They finally, God has caught them. God, my God, has caught them. The head of my grandmother has caught them. All those kidnappers, all those evil people, God has finally caught them. And it's easy once again to get passionate about it and say, oh yeah, it's a great sin. But the fact that one thing you may have missed is some of the people who were paraded also denied that they took part in any crime or that they were part of any criminal activity. Now, is it likely that some of the people who are paraded are guilty of the offenses they have been accused of? That's possible, definitely. Maybe even factual. Is it also possible that some of the people who are paraded are not guilty of the offense that they are being alleged to have committed by the police, hence they are being paraded? That's also a very good possibility, maybe even factual as well. So the question then is, should the police be parading anybody who is a suspect who has not been found guilty in court? The answer is an emphatic no, because the law presumes everybody, and that means everybody. It doesn't matter what stage of the crime you may or may not have been apprehended. The law presumes everybody to be innocent, not until arrested by the police, not until paraded by CP Eboka Friday. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty in court, not determined guilty by a commissioner of police or even the IG of police for that matter. Everybody is innocent before the law until proven guilty in court. The question does arise, why is the police constantly in a hurry to parade suspects? And one answer readily comes to mind. The police is desperate to show that it is doing something. The police is desperate for citizens to forget their high-handedness, even the evil and wickedness that they perpetuate on Nigerians every single day, and so to placate persons and cause them to believe that they're actually doing something substantial. Let's parade some people in the guise of parading suspects or in the guise of parading criminals for that matter. But the fact once again is, as far as I'm concerned, the police is simply trying to showboat and show to people that they're actually doing something, drawing attention away from the ineptitudes, from the downright torturous, evil, murderous horror that has become the practice of several so-called bad eggs within the rank and file of the police force here in Rivers State and even throughout Nigeria, for that matter. If the police were so intent on the rule of law and justice, what happened to the crackhead officers who collected money, I think about 100,000 or more, from some Uniport undergrads and forgot their phone? What happened to those officers? Why have they not been paraded till now, by the way? And even if they have been apprehended, they should not be paraded as well, because once again, it is illegal for them to do so. It's as simple as that, because once again, when the police constantly parade this suspect, as I said a while ago, is it possible that some of them are guilty? Yes. Is it also possible that some of them are actually innocent of the crimes they've been accused of committing? The answer to that also is yes. And before you go, gung-ho on me, there is actually no constitutional provision that gives the police the right to parade people. As a matter of fact, the law is clearly against that. If you search independently through the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Police Act, you will find no law, absolutely no law, permitting the Nigeria Police Force to parade suspects before the press. Neither is there precedent ruling of the Supreme Court or unchallenged ruling of lower courts that permits the parading of suspects. It is not allowed in any way. There is no provision for it in our law. As a matter of fact, lawyers were asked and they all returned the same verdict, 100% certainty that Nigeria has no provision that gives the police the right to parade suspects to the media. The law allows the police to parade a suspect not in only one condition, but not before the media. Only when the identity of the suspect is in question. Now, in identification parade, the suspect is lined with 8 other innocent people or thereabouts who have the same height, body build, complexion, who have certain similarities. The victim of the crime only will then identify the accused among the people who have been lined up before him or her. Now, this is done in the police station, in the presence of the suspect's lawyer, who merely stands as an observer, the investigative officer, and the victim. The law does not give the police the right to parade suspects. Now, in the case, once again, there's precedence for this. In the case of Otto Obono versus IG Police Justice Aneke delivered a landmark judgment that declared the parade of suspects before the media is illegal and unconstitutional. The judge in suit number FHC/CA/CS/91/2009 condemned the Lagos State Commissioner of Police for parading one Otto Obono before the media. Now, Justice Aneke in July 18, 2011, at the Federal High Court in Calabar held thus, quote, the parading of the applicant Otto Obono on the 27th of October 2009 by second respondent, Commissioner of Police Lagos State, before a horde of journalists. Horde is not a good name, by the way. It's not a good description. Before a horde of journalists from both the print and electronic media prior to the applicant's arraignment before a court of competent jurisdiction as a member of a gang of armed robbers who specializes in car snatching and the subsequent publishing of the applicant's photographs in the Punch newspaper of Thursday, the 8th of October 2009, and the airing of same news item on the 9 o'clock network news program of the NTA on the same date, only for the said applicant to be exonerated of having committed any crime by the legal advisor of the learned Director of Public Prosecutions of Lagos State after having spent a period of over 10 months in Kirikiri Maximum Prisons, Lagos State on remand, makes nonsense of the applicant's right to presumption of innocence as enshrined in Section 36 sub 5 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 and leaves much to be desired in the administration of justice system in the country. The respondent's conduct against the applicant are totally reprehensible and condemnable, and I hereby condemn same without equivocation. Now, the court then awarded exemplary damages of 20 million naira in addition to 50,000 naira as cost to be paid by the Nigeria Police Force to the victims. Now, in spite of these judgments and similar judgments, by the way, the police have continued to parade suspects whom they are yet to finalize investigation into their cases or even charged to court in the first instance. Once again, the question arises, why is the police always in a hurry to do this? It's very obvious, just to try to give the impression that they are doing something. And by the way, that is not to say that the police is doing absolutely nothing or is completely ineffective or ineffectual in our society. They are doing quite a lot, actually. Take out the police right now, and I'm sure would have full-blown anarchy. So are they doing their jobs to a great degree or to some degree, to some extent? Yes, they are doing their jobs. But obviously, because they are not doing enough and there's so much going wrong, to give an impression that they are doing something is the reason for all this illegal and baseless parading of suspects before what a judge referred to as a horde of journalists, which is most unfortunate, I might add. So I would like to lend my voice to the voices of several other Nigerians, many of them learned, by the way, many even judges as well, who have said that parading suspects is illegal and should not be done. Now, the question does arise, as I've heard it said severally as well. If it is so illegal to parade suspects, why are journalists constantly at these parading ceremonies to join the police, police commissioners and their likes in their illegal activities? Well, I'm not sure I have an answer to that. I'm not sure I know why, because even over here, we do the same thing as well. So I would like to say conclusively in this matter, I would like to enjoin professionals like myself in the field, in journalism, broadcast, print, whatever else it is,